We're constantly under this idea in life that we need to be something that we're not to be able to be successful or have a great relationship or feel good about ourselves. And it doesn't allow us to accept who we are. So, yes, there are different things I can do in my relationship that are going to improve the quality of it, make it easier, make it better for me, make it better for Gail, allow us to thrive better. And those things are all valuable and worth learning. But the first thing we have to really do is understand who we are and what makes us work and what we need to be able to be in the relationship so we can have some level of freedom. So the other day I was talking to somebody and they were telling me that their partner was leaving them because they hadn't been together long, but because she saw a side of him that she didn't like. She saw a side of him relating the way he related to his family and a side of him the way he was stressing about his business. And she said, look, sort those two things out. And then when you've sorted those two things out, maybe we can have a relationship. But the quality of the relationship is in the ability for her to be able to love those things about him, because that's him at his worst, if you like. And she has to work out, well, what was it about that that was triggering me, that was making me unhappy? What can't I be with? And that's a whole bigger story. But just to give you the essence of it, where we get to have a really great relationship is not when we're both really good. It's when we get to be able to accept ourselves and our partners when we're not so good, when we're bad. And with that in mind, I was talking to someone the other day and they said, you know, the way they work is they store up stuff and they store up conversations. They store up little things. They kind of like become this pressure cooker of everything held inside, because they're not at the level in their growth or their understanding of themselves where they can communicate things powerfully, effectively. They feel like they can't just get the words out. So it all stays inside. And then what happens is they just dump, and they dump everything, and it's not fair for their partner, it's not fair for their relationship. Some of the stuff's irrelevant, some of the stuff doesn't matter, some of the stuff's petty, and they know that, but they just have to get it out eventually because you've stored it. They've become a pressure cooker, and they want to stop that so that they can communicate smaller things more easily. Well, that's all really great and really admirable, and yes, they do want to do that. But without the freedom to just dump, it's really hard, because you're saying, I don't have the freedom to be me, and then I want to create something better than me on top of that. Well, first of all, you need the freedom to be you, and you need to understand how being you affects the relationship. So what I'm suggesting here is you need to create a safe space in your relationship that allows you to be able to dump. And I don't mean randomly dump, I mean set it up and say, look, honey, I got all this stuff that's going on. I know I don't want to withhold communication, because that's the lowest level of communication, withholding communication. That destroys relationships. Look, honey, I just need to get this stuff out. I just need to express it. It doesn't mean anything. It's not about anything. It's just builds up in my mind like a morass of stuff I can't get rid of. And I just want to share it with you, because what it's doing is it's stopping us connecting, because I feel like I'm exploding inside. And to be able to connect, I want to get all these words out. Can you please just be the space for me to just dump it, so I can see what it feels like to get it out? It's not personal about you. It doesn't mean anything. Most of it's petty. Nearly all, it's all about me. But allow me just to be able to just dump it out, so that I can get it out of the space that it's occupying between our relationship. And that's what we talk about, creating the relationship entity. If you've got one partner that dumps, then you've got this idea that you can't do that. You're putting that in the space of the relationship. So get that out of the relationship, create a safe space, let your partner know, I love you, I cherish you, I adore you. That's why sharing this with you is important to me. Please don't make it mean anything. Please don't do anything with it. Just let me get it out. It's like a verbal vomit. You like verbal diarrhea, go bleh, and out it comes. And you need to have that space in your relationship. Yes, I can communicate effectively. I can communicate really well. Yes, I know loads of tools to be able to allow me to do that. But sometimes I'm just not in that space. Sometimes I just want to get this shit out of my mouth. And if I can get it out, it frees me up. It lets me be. So, you know, the bottom line here is we are thriving to be some. We are striving to get somewhere. We do want to achieve some. We do want to learn more. But first of all, we've got to be with what we've got and accept it in our partner. Learn to love them for who they are, not for who we want them to become. Because after all, you fell in love with who they are, not with who you want them to become. You fell in love with all parts of them. And like I was talking about that relationship before that ended prematurely, it really needed to, because if they can't be with the person now in their bad times, and it's early in the relationship, that's just going to get worse in the future. So out these conversations, talk about yourself. Say, look, I got it. It's a problem. I dump. I don't want to dump. I prefer to learn a better way, but right now it's all I've got. So can we set up a space where I can dump, please? And then you can dump, you get it out, clear out the garbage. It's like putting the bins out every week, clear out the garbage, then you can just go back to being normal till this builds up again inside you and it happens again. You know, what's your level? 1 day, 5 days, 2 weeks? Who knows? Everyone has a different level, but the more you get it out, the longer the time frame will become. You'll notice it. You'll see that you have less going on less often, because now you have permission and freedom, and you've created the space in your relationship without it doing any harm, and without it creating, and with it actually creating one of the cornerstones, which is connection. Because when you, as a partner, when you can be there for your partner at their worst point, which is the dumping in this case, that really makes you feel special. It makes you feel good and like you're providing some love and some energy for them, which really then starts to build the relationship entity and a connection that you need, the intimacy. So, you know, give it a go, set it up, and give yourself permission to be yourself, and let your partner, ask your partner if it's okay, get the permission from them, and then let go of what you're holding on to. Don't try to be something you're not. First of all, accept who you are and realize that it's valuable and worthy of being loved.